Now, if you grew up listening to music that had something to say about the social or political mood of the day, then you are in for a treat this weekend. Moss is a 5-piece heartland rock band from Adelaide, and they're going to be performing at Riverstock in Moorook on the weekend. And from Moss, we have Mark Simpkin and Suzie Craig in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Matt.
morning.
How are you?
I'm very well today. You must be excited for the weekend.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Riverstock. We've done a few
really
Riverstocks, Matt, and we're really looking forward to this one because this is the first time that we'll be at Riverstock playing our own original music.
Lovely. So you've done covers previously?
Yes, we
yeah,
have.
for about 4 years. Yeah.
Right, okay. Now, I was having a look through a few things about you, and you describe yourselves as mature age musicians. What music did you grow up listening to?
Obviously, in my era, the Beatles were a big influence, but other bands like Creedence, Fogerty's "Fortunate Son" was a very interesting statement back then that has stayed with me forever. The Doobies, Rolling Stones, Dylan, Neil Young, all those were heavy influences on me.
And there were a lot of influences too. A lot of us started our teenage journey in the 70s and we ended them as adults. And so those teenage years are just so impressionable. And there's a massive melting pot of tunes and all sorts of things. And in terms of songwriting, Mark is the composer of the music, and I tend to write the lyrics. And I guess with Mark's massive amount of experience in the music industry, his writing is fantastic, and we're pumping out some really great tunes.
Yeah,
I love your words too.
Yeah, you were saying that you used to do the covers, and now you've moved into more original songs and compositions. How did you? What prompted the change? Was it something you'd always done?
No, we're at this point in our lives, and you think, well, to heck with it. One too many nights in the corner of a pub playing other people's music, which is important. But I've just had this tugging at me since I was a teenager, and I guess now we have the time and the and maybe the experience to pull those years into something that's we hope is interesting, and the test marketing of our stuff to the public at the moment seems to be getting some responses that we're happy with. So we're very encouraged by it.
My own personal view on that, Matt, is that all my life I've kind of tinkered around with singer-songwriting with my guitar, and I've done lots of open mic nights, solo gigs, that sort of thing. And then the last 4 years I've been with Moss. It was essentially covers up until a year and a half ago when we took the time out to write and record. So I've kind of had that in me all my life anyway. And organically, we tend to be like that because in those days there were a lot of, music was the voice of the people quite often, and you were considered troublemakers if you did anything else but. So that's kind of always been there. And I guess as mature age musicians, you're kind of a spectator in life, and I don't want to be a spectator anymore, and I want to use my resources to develop songs that have got a message that, hopefully makes a difference, which would be fantastic.
I said in my intro that you're a heartland rock band, but how would you describe your music and the original stuff that you're writing?
Well, in a recent show, when you're close to it, it's very hard to put that into a sentence. But I guess from the audience's point of view, at a recent show when I came off stage, a chap bailed me up and was very complimentary of the set. But what got to me was his comment that he was actually at Sunbury in the 70s. And he said, "Man, you guys just took me back to Sunbury." So I guess if you knew that era and you knew the music of the 70s and the essence of it, I'm guessing from his reaction we come across that way. So it's good, honest rock,
Yeah, and somebody also said it was a bit of a hat tip to the 70s. And I guess we're filling a niche. A lot of mature age people our age visit or go to see tribute bands because it takes them back to the day.
Yeah.
But I guess organically we've got this flavour, we've got this fantastic melting pot of sounds, and we've just taken on a new drummer, Peter Cornthwaite, and he made the point that it's interesting how a lot of our work has got swing beat, and swing beat Mark was very much the beat of that era. So we were kind of bringing that back. And we were delighted just recently, actually, to have been nominated in the top 30 of the Australian Songwriters Association Songwriting Awards. And we're hanging out to see if we're going to make the finals next week. But that was a fantastic coup.
Yeah, I was going to mention that shortly. But something else I wanted to mention, though, you talk a lot about the 70s. And in the 70s, Australian music particularly just seemed to be a lot of guitar-based rock and roll, the pub scene, that sort of thing. We don't tend to, is it just my impression, or we don't tend to have that these days?
No, one of the observations Sue and I made back in the day when we're doing covers is the trend these days with a lot of the hard-working cover bands now is that a lot of what they're producing is pre-recorded. And so the sound that they get is CD quality. So you go to a show and it's impeccable sound, but a lot of the string work, keyboard work, bass
Choir,
work is all pre-recorded behind them. So they're getting this magnificent sound. We've tended to want to stay, I guess, organic, for the want of a better description, and frankly, I just get more enjoyment out of producing a sound that is happening at that time, not in a studio, sometime previous. But entertainment is entertainment, and we could see by the pull of the crowds to the pre-recorded style of presentation was big, and we also see that there is a market for the raw, honest stuff at the time it's played. So there's a market for everyone, and we hope we serve it to the people that want our style.
Well, you've got me excited to hear what you've got to do. You've got a late slot at Riverstock, haven't you, on Saturday night?
Yeah,
yes,
there's taking them home.
Yes, there's quite a night on Saturday night. We've got a Full Tilt Janice on at 7:15.
She's awesome.
She just gets the place rocking. Then we've got Mick Thomas, who is from Weddings, Parties, Anything, and for people that have been around like we have, a Father's Day and a Monday's Expert were a couple of songs that quickly come to mind. Mick has had some big hits. He'll be there. And we follow on after Mick to take the show home.
It's the whole 3 days of fantastic
lineup.
And great bands.
Of course, after the main stage closes, then the music happens over at the Marook Club. So for those that want to party on to 2 o'clock, the party just keeps on rolling.
It's a great vibe. Yeah.
So you've got Friday night a full stack show, Saturday night a full stack. Saturday begins at 12:30 in the afternoon. So. There's lots and lots of music.
Party.
And of course, Sunday goes through to 6:30, so it's a big weekend.
Yeah. Now, we do need to wrap this up because I've got a song I want to play from you, but just to get a bit of a story on it. Now, you mentioned you've got a finalist in the Australian Songwriters Competition,
yes.
And that song that we're talking about is You're Braver Than You Believe, but we're going to play a different one, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, we thought this one, simply because on the awards night at the Australian Songwriters Association, they will be inducting Michael Hutchins and Andrew Farris, songwriters for In Excess, into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And so we've written a song called In Excess of Life, which is about Michael Hutchins, a tribute to him and his struggles and his glory. And you're about to hear it, and we'll be playing this also on Saturday night.
All right, we'll get it on the radio now. Mark Simpkin and Suzie Craig from Moss, thank you so much for dropping into the studio this morning. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Our pleasure, Matt. Thanks.
Intoxication is a gamble, but you through the did you stop? Why did you throw it away? Why did you throw it away?